My fiance's ex made a terrible confession on her deathbed. Now my relationship is in shambles. My fiancé and I have been together for nearly 3 years. We were super excited for our wedding that was going to take place 6 months from now. I had a hard boundary against exes in the relationship, and we both agreed on that. No pictures, no contact, no stories, nothing. Prior to meeting me, he was in a serious relationship for about the same time as us. However, his ex one day told him she no longer loved him, and they broke up. He was heartbroken, and it took him months to heal. Everything had been fine until recently. Out of the blue, her mom contacted my fiancé and told him she had cancer and wanted to meet him one last time. This was a difficult decision considering my boundaries, but I felt really sorry this girl was losing her life so young. So, I supported my fiancé's decision to see her, but on the condition I be in the same room as them. So we agreed to meet at a small coffee shop his ex had suggested for the meeting. She was already seated at a table in the back corner when we walked in. I noticed right away how frail and sickly she looked. We sat down across from her and the awkward tension was palpable. She gave a weak smile and thanked my fiancé for agreeing to meet with her. He nodded, overcome with emotion at seeing her so unwell. After some polite small talk about her treatments, she took a deep breath and became very serious. She told him how sorry she was for the way she ended things between them, and that she had always regretted it. My fiancé leaned forward anxiously, confused by her change of tone. She explained how right before they broke up, she had been diagnosed with advanced melanoma that had spread to her organs. The doctors had only given her a few months left to live. She told no one, not even my fiancé, because she didn't want him to stay with her out of pity or obligation. Tears streaming down her gaunt face, she confessed that she had lied about falling out of love. She knew that would give my fiancé the cleanest break to mourn and eventually move on. She said ending their relationship was the hardest thing she ever had to do. My fiancé was stunned. He was unable to speak as she went on to share how all she had ever wanted was for him to be happy, even if it wasn't with her. She wished us a beautiful life together, squeezing his hand as she told him she has and would always love him. We left the coffee shop in a daze. She died 3 weeks ago, and my fiancé has been a mess since. I can't unsee the way they both held each other's hands, and the look of nostalgia and love in his eyes for her, as I was looking on, feeling like an outsider. It's so difficult and hurtful to see him cry about another woman whom he once loved. I literally can't unhear things he said to his mom in the kitchen one day. He told her, "I wonder what life could have been like with her. We could have been a happy family of our own. She wanted kids with me, and we could have named her Rose like she wanted." I was stunned once again. Where did this leave me? Why was I in his life still if he'd rather be with someone else? I promised myself that I'd only ever be with a guy for whom I am his one and only and first priority. I saw that in him before, but now I didn't know. Trust me, I am not a heartless person and I would rather not put myself in any position where I'd consider myself a monster. But this was incredibly complicated and it was extremely hurtful to feel like a third wheel in my once happy, thriving relationship. He continued to reach out to me for support and regardless of my feelings, I lent a listening ear. He then started telling me so many stories from his time with her and I didn't like one bit of it. My therapist told me while having empathy is important, I shouldn't have to lose myself in my relationship even if circumstances are hard. Then I reached my last straw. 2 days ago, he received a package in the mail and it was from the ex's sister. Apparently it was a photo album from their old times that the ex wanted him to have. When he pulled out one of the pictures, it was of them having a date in a coffee shop. It was the same coffee shop she had asked us to meet at. He then proceeded to confess to me that it was where they had met for the first time. My fiancé held it so gently and teared up a little. I literally broke down on the floor crying, having a panic attack. I think I unloaded almost all of what I've been feeling on the spot and I think I did it in one of the most hurtful ways. I yelled at him for making me the third wheel and the unfairness of the whole situation based on what my boundaries around exes had been. I expressed my anger at her for inserting herself in our lives for no good reason when both of us were literally so happy. I asked him why she thought it'd be okay to make such a confession when we had literally been months away from our wedding. Then I questioned where his loyalties lied. I told him that we needed to pause our wedding plans for now and that I wanted a week or two off to think about our relationship. Now, I am at my sister's place and hadn't been able to sleep or eat properly ever since. It's almost as if I'm falling out of love with my fiancé. He has been calling me and texting me nonstop but I've been ignoring him for the most part. I feel so guilty right now. He had self-slaughter tendencies years ago and I'm afraid I might trigger that. He says his ex already died and it's gonna break him if I leave him too. If I left him too? Emphasis on the two. I'm just done. What the hell am I supposed to do?